Welcome along to episode 798 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we'll be joined by Gordon Nandini from Ambassador Cruise Lines and Sherrie Hewson. You'll know her from Corrie, as they have a bit of a natter all about Grandparents' Day over the weekend and a vote that is on for the Great British Grandparents. They could win themselves a cruise on Ambassador. That'd be a bit of a treat for them. All you need to do is nominate. Details in a bit. Meanwhile, we'll also be having a catch up with Matt Elson, finding out about his role in Nativity, which is being brought to the Grand by Bilston Operatic Company. And we're talking about all about his other stuff that's going on in his world too. We'll be hearing from Rugeley Musical Theatre as we hear about their production of Robin Hood. It's their panto for this year. It's coming up in November. November is also needs to be in your diary for the wonderful team from Brownhills Musical Theatre who are doing Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That is on the way. We'll be hearing from Mystical Productions about their Haunting Maze, which is coming up on the 26th of October. And we're due to be joined by Gemma Collins too, as we find out about fostering. She's got her mom who I discovered she was fostered as part of a TV show. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
12,500 foster carers are urgently needed across the UK. There are opportunities in Wolverhampton and surrounding areas to help change somebody's life and make it a real joy to be part of a family. Somebody who's experienced this themselves. We've got Gemma Collins and Mom Joan Collins. How are you doing?
Yeah, really well.
Really
thank
good, thank you.
Now, you've got a friend with you there from the National Fostering Group. That's Neil McCarthy. Hi to you too. And Neil, we'll come to you first of all, just to see.
Sure.
I mean, the fostering itself is, as we're going to hear in a moment, life-changing. But it is something which many people wouldn't even think they were eligible for, potentially.
That's right, and we're sharing a campaign today, which is Spare to Share. That's about spare rooms, and if people have got a spare room at home, and our research shows nearly 17 million people across the UK have a spare room. So what we're saying is, for those people, if you're interested in fostering, pick up the phone to us at the National Fostering Group and be in touch. There is a shortage. 12,500 foster families are needed in the UK, and that's an increase on 14% over the last year. So there's a real need, and we work with some of the most vulnerable children in our society, and what we need is foster carers who can offer those children a stable home, a loving home, and an opportunity to belong in a family and in a community.
So tell me how fostering has impacted the Collins family then.
Oh, yeah, she was brought into fostering because since doing the BBC show, Who Do You Think You Are? We could never understand why my mum was fostered from such an early age. And we found out on the show, and we now know that it was the best decision for my mother to be fostered. You grew up in
because
foster
I
care.
didn't know my mother. I didn't know anything about her.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I was curious about what happened to her. Is she alive? Is she, why didn't she, why was I left at the hospital and this sort of things.
I obviously thought, why would my grandmother do that to my mum? And it was since doing the BBC show, we learned that foster care was the best solution for my mum. And, growing up in foster care gave my mum stability. She came from a loving home. And this is what we're urging people to do now. 12,500 carers are needed. There's a 14% increase in children needing to be looked after. And, if you've got space in your hearts, space in your homes, I am urging myself and my mother to literally get in contact with National Fostering Group, because, my foster family now is wonderful, and it's a beautiful addition to my life, because when my mum was fostered, her actual foster mother died at 7, but the foster mother's daughter, who had newly married, took my mum into her home as well. So she grew up with a loving family, and they're still part of our lives today. So it's just been massively, a good experience, a rewarding experience, and gave my mum the love and care she needed growing up.
And so it is about that love and care, isn't it? And something they say that you've experienced, Joan, that so many kids crave and need, and this helps get people onto the right track and the right start in life, doesn't it? Because it can be concerning being moved around children's homes. This allowing someone to settle is the best way of bringing them forward.
Absolutely. And, it's like just being, since doing the show, the positives of foster care and learning that it was the best decision for my mum has healed a lot of wounds for my mum and for me, because she was put into foster care, but it was the very, very best decision. And, I'm so proud of her for sharing this story and maybe to help encourage other people to come forward and be a foster parent. All you need to do is reach out to National Fostering Group and have a little chat, see where it might take you. And it could really have a huge impact and leave a wonderful footprint on a child's life forever.
Mm-hmm. And Neil, there's up to £24,000 funding available to help with this too.
That's absolutely right. So that's an allowance that foster carers get. So although people have a spare room, it's an opportunity really for people to think about, even as a career in fostering, because they're highly trained professionals. We offer fantastic training to carers. And when you hear Joan and Gemma's story, the word that you hear going through that is stability and care and love. But actually, we're working with some vulnerable children with some challenges. And so we offer training to those carers to manage those, and we match those children individually with those foster carers.
And again, Gemma, we know that we've seen an increase of this needed. So this is, again, another reason you're so involved in the campaign, is to make sure that so many people can be shown the love they deserve.
Absolutely. And, as I say, it's not difficult to give love. And as I say, if you've got that space in your heart, that space in your home, then please get in contact. We need you.
Well, once again, where do we go to find out more and see how we can help in this need?
The National Fostering Group.
Search for the National Fostering Group. We've got advisors at the end of the phone ready to take your call.
Sorry, National Fostering Group at nfa.co.uk.
Find it there. Well, Neil McCarthy, Regional Director of National Fostering Group, Gemma Collins, celebrity and star, and someone who's just as well known and famous as Joan and Mum. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Brownhills Musical Theatre are doing their thing with Priscilla from the 6th through to the 9th of November. It's all going on over at the Prince of Wales in Cannock, and I'm joined now by Messrs Price, Dewsbury and Merrill. How you doing, boys?
Very well, thank you.
And how are you going to be doing as girls?
Oh, even better.
So we have the three lead women in the show.
Yeah.
Sort of. So how do you approach a show like this? Because you've got the role of Bernadette, you've got a tricky number or two to perform there.
Yeah, for me it's detail, from everything from the way my hands are using to foot placement, everything is detail, because I do not move like a woman of an elder age with the grace and dignity that Bernadette is normally. I kind of stomp around like a rugby player, so getting the details right that's been the key thing for me.
This is the effort that goes into a show like this when you're somewhere like Brownhills, isn't it? Because this is a difficult show for amateurs, not only playing the parts, but getting enough blokes to play the parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It was a challenge, but I think early on we had a look. We've been blessed with a lot of talented guys in it, and it's rare you get the chance to really explore the feminine side of your own personality in a way. You learn new things about yourself by pushing yourself out there. It's really nice to do a part where you can't do too much.
Mm-hmm. No, there's no such thing as over the top.
No such thing as over the top in this, especially in the big numbers. So.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. Okay, tell us about what you're up to, Brett.
So I'll be playing the role of Tick.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite a complex character for similar kind of reasons to Adam, but obviously he's playing a transitioned woman. I'm playing a drag queen, and although you can get away with it in this show where you can never be too over the top, you still want it to sort of have some kind of some believability behind it, so that you just don't look like you're sort of almost mocking.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes this show sometimes difficult for some amateur groups.
Yeah.
Not this one, fortunately.
No.
So that's going to work well in your favour. But
Yeah.
I mean, you've got your beard thing going on at the
Oh
moment.
no, that'll be gone. That'll be gone.
You're not
will be
going
gone.
to miss that.
Yes, yeah, it's not much of one anyway, but I think it's a challenge, and what's the point in doing theatre if you're not willing to push your own boundaries? It's very much out of, I think I can say for particularly myself and yourself, Adam, that it's been very much out of our comfort zone. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's a challenge, but it's one that it's been really fun to try and take on, kind of thing.
Okay, so these two boys have been worried about shaving the legs. Are you as worried about that, James?
Absolutely not. I'm playing Adam, and, well, Felicia, jolly good fellow. And yeah, whilst we've said both of them, you can't be too over the top with this, Adam is the most extreme over the top. And I think that's just been a real joy with Adam too.
But your costumes are going to be the most intriguing ones out of all of them, I think.
Oh God, yes, we've already tried some of them out, and they're interesting. And I think I counted, I've got 17 different costumes. So yeah,
and that's not just in that final number.
No, thank God not. But yeah, I think it's an absolute fab show, and I'm so excited, and I've been so glad to be a part of it. And yeah, we get to those final stages now, but it's really exciting, and I just can't wait.
But you're all getting a bit nervous as well, then?
Yeah. I like to say that I never get nervous, but I'm actually quite nervous for this, yeah.
And the songs in this are... Because I mean, it's one of those shows where the songs are important in most musicals. That's what you get for being in a musical. But the songs in this one are even more, I think, part of the story and part of the journey of the characters than just singing a song to tell the story. And I think that is an important part of it. And again, I look to you. You've got some difficult numbers there.
I would say actually, it's not that bad a sing. I like a good hard sing. I've got a couple of very poignant emotional numbers, but the beauty with Priscilla is a lot of the singing's done by our divas up in the tower, and I get quite a bit of lip syncing to do, which is actually as difficult as singing. Trying to get it in time.
You've got to get it right.
You've got to get it right. It's having an emotional truth, going over the top when it's a big dance number, and then having that emotional centre to really help the audience understand who your character is.
Mm-hmm. You've got to be Australian as well.
Yeah, that has been challenging. I've always said the Australian accent, when you're just messing around off a script, you can sort of do it, playing on certain stereotypes. However, it's much more difficult. It's much more difficult.
Well.
Yeah,
you can't go from Queensland to Perth apart from when you're on the bus.
Well, at the minute, I think it's in South Africa. But
it'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
Via Auckland.
Yeah. But it'll be all right. It will be all right.
And you get to be Kylie obsessed as well.
I do, yes, and we've actually some of the costumes we've kind of gone a little bit.
You're the same height as Kylie.
Well, I probably am, to be honest. I know, that's why I just need the heels just to be average height. I do. But yeah, no, some brilliant Kylie numbers. But I mean, the music in general is. I think that's what's great about a jukebox musical. While sometimes you kind of lose a bit of the story, but I think it's interesting that whilst there's a lot of singing and dancing, the moments that are the scenes, they do have some big impact as well. But the fact that it's it's Venus, it's I Will Survive, all of those numbers that the audience will all know, and I think that just goes to everybody who I've talked to who's watched the show. Other versions, they've just come away having an absolute amazing evening, which is all we can ask for.
And I think with the numbers, the show's written in such a way that the numbers have a meaning for certain points of the show. So it's very clever how it's done. So hope that all ties in.
Cakes and rain don't mix, do they?
No. Cakes and rain don't mix.
No. So the bus. A custom bus. This is the good bit. It's going to be handcrafted purely for you boys to ride in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's going to be bus driving. I mean, have you been watching the buses on the ring road so you can get the right stare when you're looking out the window and driving?
It's actually been a big point of mine because I've been working very hard on walking with a pointed toe and with a hip. But when I getting behind a wheel, pretending to be on a bus, I automatically go into dad reverse of that. Shoulders back slump. So trying to drive in a feminine way has actually been more of a challenge than I expected, but a fun one.
Yeah, one you're prepared to rise to.
One prepared to rise to.
Okay, so I think we've covered most of it off there, apart from the fact you've got an amazing rest of the cast too. So who's going to do shout-outs to some of the main roles?
Any
So I think a big shout out has to go to our divas, Shard, Emma and Beth, who will narrate the whole piece through song.
So at least you know where you are.
Big distance. At least we know where we are, and you don't have us trying to scratch out Gloria Gaynor high notes.
No, that might be harder work than everything else you've got going on. And the weights brought to life with different bits of Australia as you go along as well. I think that's quite nice.
We've been blessed, like you touched on earlier. You know, the cast are brilliant. We've got Pete Brown playing Bob.
My love interest.
Your love interest is
Beautiful.
fantastic. Louise playing my wife in it, and we've got 2 young lads that are sharing the role of my son as well, Benji, and they're brilliant so far. So it's exciting. It's really exciting.
And I think it has to be said, this, like any of our show, your shows always rely so heavily on your ensemble, but in this show,
very much more.
Those big numbers with extraordinary costumes, they turn what starts off being just a simple song into something you've never seen before.
Are we thinking dancing paintbrushes?
We're thinking dancing paintbrushes, cupcakes, and various other things.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Wild.
Brett, are you head of doing tickets?
I'm head of publicity. Yes. If you want tickets, you can
Which
go.
We hopefully will by now.
Yeah,
That's the whole
I'd
point of
like
us
to
doing
think
this.
so.
We've sold this, I think.
You can go through Ticket Source. We're on Ticket Source. You can contact the theatre group through our Facebook page and through the theatre itself.
So worthwhile coming along, seeing these lads in action, doing their thing, alongside the rest of the amazing cast. A brilliant choreography group as well, which is going to be making it even better. Prince of Wales, and just check out Brownhills Musical Theatre on Facebook. Thank you, and have a brilliant time. Break a leg. Again, as I've said before to people in Priscilla, don't break any heels, though, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Rugeley Musical Theatre bring the magic of Robin Hood to the stage of the Rose Theatre in Rugeley from the 14th through to the 16th of November. A pre-Christmas get-together of fantastic panto fun, and I've got 4 of them with me now. Hello!
Hello!
Right, so let's start at this end, since you're closest. Who are you? What are you doing?
I'm Kitty and I'm playing Little John.
Okay.
I'm Maria, I'm playing Robin Hood.
I'm Gary and I'm playing Nora the Dame. And I'm Ian and I'm playing Fry Tuck.
So this is going to be a good fun panto, and how is this going to differ from Robin Hood we may have seen in the past?
We've got lots of different characters in as well, and we've got our own spins of our own characters. So like the sheriff's got a different attitude to him. We're all putting our own spin to it. Like Little John's been quite a grumpy character, which has been quite fun to play.
There's music as well, lots of singing.
Probably for me, for the pantos we've done, this is the best sort of playlist we've got for the panto. Like every single song is just so well known, so fun, so uplifting.
So basically every year you build on it, and before
I feel,
you know
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so have you got this as a Spotify playlist in your own phone?
Definitely, I'm listening to it all the time.
My husband's a musical director, so I'm listening to it all the time.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop at home. It just comes home with me everywhere.
Endless, that's the way we like it. And when you get to be Dame, obviously you get to have some fun, and I think you may need to shave, or are you going to go with a stubbly Dame look?
No, I think I will shave for that.
I think it would work though.
It probably would, but it's going to take a lot of work to make me look like an ugly woman, so I may give him just a little bit of a hand.
just a patch. That'll do the job. And again, another of the merry men, and you're going to be happy, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Fry Tuck, great part to play. Albeit I'm not going to think about having my hair.
You're not going for it? I think it's
I might. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Come to the show.
It might happen.
Watch this space.
But I mean, as a theatre company yourselves, I mean, Rugeley's got a fantastic theatre to perform in, and you guys know how to do it.
Yeah, well, we've got different varied lengths of times how long we've been here. So I've been here 10 years, you've been here a little longer than me.
About 11, 12 years, yeah.
I say, Gary, this is your second show, and this is Ian's first show, but you've done backstage with us, so you kind of know the ropes backstage.
But you all get involved in all sorts of different bits of theatre, don't you? And
Yeah.
Ian in particular has always been on stage reasonably recently. And
Yes, and from here we did Dogfight in the summer. So yeah, it's a great little theatre.
It is a little hidden gem.
It is, and I think again the fact it's used by both professionals and amateurs alike just shows the quality that you've got,
Yeah.
and such great backstage facilities as well. We're here in the dressing room at the minute, and it is a fantastic place to be, because sometimes you go to some theatres, you think, how on earth did they get the entire amateur ensemble into there? And here you've got a chance to, possibly even do your own makeup without elbowing somebody in the eye.
It does usually happen, doesn't it?
So when it comes to costumes and stuff like that, how does that happen?
Well, we've got our own costumes from our unit within the society, which has been costumes that we've gained from either recently or from years ago. I think some of the costumes we're using are from costumes that they did in 2008 when they did this show.
Vintage costumes.
Yeah, like this sort of bag here.
Oh, you're just there walking around with the props at all times.
Always.
She's got to remember them. She's got to keep them on her.
Yeah, so to make sure you've got it in time.
Yeah, that's a task for me.
Yeah, okay. See how you do. But as you lead role in all this, I mean, you've got a lot. Have you been practicing shooting arrows and stuff?
That, to be fair, like in real life, I would not be trusted with a bow and arrow at all.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, that there's ways to make it look really sort of,
You've got to come and see it for yourself.
Yes,
Just to
exactly.
see how it all works.
See how Robin does it.
Okay, that'd be good.
Visual.
And again, your main one is a ladder in your tights, I suppose, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
Are you falling off?
I think the skirt's long enough to hide any ladder, so I'm not going to have to shave my legs.
Well, I thought you'd be in fishnets.
Well,
Again.
You're never excited again,
Come
aren't
and
you?
have
Did you see the pause of, oh?
come and have a look.
Okay, right. So if you're feeling brave, it'll be good. And with the ensemble and the camaraderie, I mean, this must be funny. And it's a great group, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's a great group. As I say, I did a couple of backstage shows for the guys, and I got invited to join, and I just relished the chance.
Well, who's head of giving us ticket information?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave that. So tickets available on the Rugeley Musical Theatre page. If you go on, there's our links on all the posts. But if you go to TicketSource/Rugeley Musical Theatre Company, it will come up with Robin Hood, and you can get your tickets there.
And make sure you get yourself in. I know the matinee is already doing rather well, isn't it?
The matinee's sold out now.
Yeah, so you've got to get in there quick. Get your tickets. Come along and see these guys. It will be well worth it. They're a fantastic bunch. We can tell that already. Have a brilliant time. Break a leg and enjoy your sort of pre-festivities.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
I love a pando, so yeah.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
It was going to happen.
Now, with National Grandparents' Day taking place over the weekend and the chance to recognise your loved ones who are more senior in years, it's great to be able to go out there and shout about how wonderful they are. Somebody who is not only a glamorous but super gran is Sherrie Hewson, and also joined now by Gordon Nardini, Chief Marketing Officer at Ambassador Cruise Line. Hello to you both.
Hello, good to see you.
Hi there.
Good to have you along. Sherrie, first of all, you can't have been a grandma for long. You're not old enough.
Oh, I wish. I've got a 5-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 18-year-old. So I'm very busy.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you get involved in the childcare? I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing that
Every day. There isn't a day goes by.
But I mean, that's nice for you and for the grandkids, and helps their parents out a lot as well.
It is, but I mean, I think more and more though that is happening now. More and more. Both parents need to work now to survive, and more you need the grandparent to step up. Now, a lot of grandchildren live away from their grandparents and don't see them, but I've never been like that. I've always been either next door or the next road or 2 minutes away, because I can't be without them. I have to see them every day. And then it frees my daughter up to do what she wants to do as well, you see.
But are you a granny? You a nan? What do they call you?
I'm a nana.
Nana, definitely
Sherrie.
a nana.
Yeah, Nana Sherrie.
and can we expect your name on a nomination form here? Will they be putting you forward for?
Well, I'll put myself forward.
Because Ambassador Cruise Lines are looking for the great British grandparents. And when it comes to the nominations, how's it all going, Gordon?
We've just started it. We've just launched it today. So we've got till the 17th of November. I mean, I just want to pay my tribute to the grandparents. They're the backbone of the family community. and I think really we want to recognise and reward the grandparents. And I think this competition, we did a little bit of research that shows that there's a lot of time they spend in childcare. They support their families financially, but also they're giving up some of their holidays. So one of the things is we want to be able to support the grandparents and give something back to them.
And it's different in every family, isn't it? Because I mean, Sherrie, your dad said he never appreciated his own children until actually you had your daughter. It changes the dynamic in a family.
I think it does, but my dad came from a time when he it's not quite like now, you know what I mean? He didn't consider that you had to take them everywhere, the play, there's such thing as play areas or stuff like, so, but when I had my daughter, he was so besotted with her till the day he died. I mean, completely besotted. And he said, I never realised what parenting was until I had a grandchild. He said, I never realised the kind of love that you get back. And I don't know why. I think it was just, he was a singer, he was a crooner, and he used to sing every night, and he had other businesses. And so it just said it never, but now things have changed completely now. We all recognise that you have to give your children memories. And he was sad about that, but he was wonderful with my daughter. So he paid back everything he owed.
Well, that's a lovely story. And we'll be hearing loads of brilliant stories. I know, Gordon, this is the second year that you've done this Great British Grandparent. And how did it all work out for last year's winner?
Yeah, it was fantastic, and actually we had the winner down. They had their cruise, and then we had them down just last weekend with us, helping us launch this again, and very supportive and very proud to be the winner. I would ask all your listeners, if you know a remarkable grandparent, I'm sure everyone does, and that deserves recognition, go and visit ambassadorcruiseline.com. Click on the homepage. There's a form there to complete, and the competition is open until the 17th of November, and then very kindly Sherrie in mid-December is going to announce one Great British Grandparent 2024 is going to win a cruise for 7 nights for 2 people on Ambassador Cruise Line.
Because Ambassador are going from all over the place.
We have 8 ports, but you're Newcastle, Dundee, Bristol, Falmouth, Liverpool, Belfast and Tilbury. But yeah, we're just about to go to Portsmouth in 26, 27 as well.
So it's going to be great to get on board. Sherrie, I know sneakily reading your own name out to get a cruise, okay?
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
I want to be on that cruise, yes.
She's got to nominate herself.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to arrange something.
Yeah. No, you can nominate me. Get on there and nominate me now. You know me.
I shall fill the form. Yeah, my mate Sherrie, put her down. Known to her loved ones as Nana. It'll do the job.
Nana Sherrie.
Yeah, Nana Sherrie. We've got all the details.
Yeah, there you go.
But this isn't just a flash in the pan. I know this is our second year, but I really, really feel passionate about wanting to make this, cement this day in the UK calendar is up there with Mother's Day and Father's Day, because the grandparents, as I say, do so much for this country. And we've got a petition going as well on change.org, so please go there, get your listeners to go there and vote, because I'd love nothing more than to have this as an official day, and then we can maybe see in a few years' time we can make it a bank holiday as well.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting. 6th of October is that date that you need to make sure is in your diary, so you can celebrate grandparents, whether they're your own or, like many of us, sadly ours are no longer with us. But it doesn't mean there aren't grandparents or people you call your grandparents. The same way you got adopted aunties and uncles as well.
Absolutely.
You get adopted grandparents, don't you?
Yeah. Everyone does. And now you've got me as your adopted grandmother, so you can nominate me.
I will definitely do that. Well, great to catch up with you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Give us all those details again, Gordon, on where people can go and vote.
Yeah, go to ambassadorcruiseline.com. You'll see a little link on the homepage saying National Grandparents. Take you through to the landing page and click the form. You've got till the 17th of November, so you've got a little bit of time.
Go for it. Gordon Nardini.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, Chief Marketing Officer over at Ambassador Cruise Line, and Sherrie Hewson, actor and grandmother. And it depends on which order those go in, depending on what she's doing that day. Thank you both for joining us.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bilston Operatic at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 13th through to the 17th of November with Nativity. Just the right time of year to put you in the mood for your Christmas shopping. Matt Elson is one of the stars of the show and joins me now for a bit of a chat. Hello, sir.
Yeah, one of the star, if you will. I'm only joking.
No.
I'm only joking.
No, if you were the star, you'd be the one that stuck on top of the Christmas tree for this
no,
production.
it's fine. No, I shouldn't say that. But it certainly does feel like it when I am there, working. I'm playing the role of Mr. Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of his personality is sort of going into mine just a little bit.
The thing about Mr. Poppy is it's a role you've pretty much done in real life with the teaching that you've done.
Yeah, this is true. I've done lots of teaching from from the little ones in performing arts right up to university and drama schools as a visiting lecturer. Actually, at the moment, I'm going into some special needs school.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working with kids with severe autism.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been a huge learning curve. When I think of all the things that I've done, I never would have thought that I would have been working in that sort of place, but it's been really, really amazing, really rewarding actually. And I sometimes feel like do you remember that TV program Quantum Leap?
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
Sam
Jumped into somebody else.
jumping from different people's lives to the next. That's what it feels like. But hey, it's all fun, isn't it?
It is. The nativity itself is going to be fun, and you've got a great cast. The kids, you've already told me, are amazing in this show.
The kids are amazing. Really, we just did a rehearsal on Thursday, so we do Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're not always needed, but at the moment we're getting close now, so we're going to have to, And the kids are amazing. I was bowled over by the talent, and I'm really excited for the audience to see these kids. And as a parent, you always think your kid's great, don't you? But oh my God, they're in for a surprise here. They're absolutely brilliant. They're worth the ticket money just on that.
And an interesting run as well, because you're actually running from Wednesday through Sunday.
I know, it's not like the old days, is it? Goodness me, you'd get a band call, you get this. No, yes, we open on the Wednesday matinee. That's new.
Mm-hmm. But it's one of those schools will be coming to see the show, though, isn't it?
Schools will be coming. Yeah, we open on the Wednesday matinee, then the Wednesday night, and then we've got a Saturday matinee. And then we close on a Sunday matinee, so just in time for a roast dinner at the end of the finale.
I was going to say, and you're buying that for the whole cast.
Well,
yeah,
you know.
And you've had that much other work going on recently. You've been a busy boy, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been busy. At the start of the year, I was looking at my calendar going, what am I doing? But no, things have really just sailed in.
Mm-hmm.
I was really, really fortunate. I got to go on a 6-star luxury line cruise on a maiden voyage for Explorer Journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Explorer 2. If you ever want to go on a cruise, get on this
They're the
one.
ones to go, aren't they?
It was ridiculous, and it was just that I can tell you everything. I had guest status as well, so I was in the gym, I was swimming. It was work. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it was really, really, it was so gorgeous. I've not had a holiday since before lockdown, of any ilk really, because as you know, as a freelancer, you take the work.
Yeah, you do what you do.
As it comes. And I'd had a little bit of a break, as you know, just at the end of last year. And so it's been great to get back in that driving seat.
Mm-hmm. And when you're working on a cruise ship like that, how do the shows work? What did they have you do?
Yeah, so I was... just to say, I was directing, so I wasn't in the show.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've not done a lot of performing for the last sort of 10 years, really. I've done bits and bobs, but essentially I've been on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am directing. And what they'll do, the show will be going up on that night.
Mm-hmm.
They will have learnt the vocals and done a little bit of the setting. But essentially I go in and go, right, we've got the band, we've got the tech, we're all here. And then we run it, I give them notes, we do it again. And essentially they're on that night and then they're open. And they've got, a 14-day programme. So there's never a night where there's no entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And but you mean you're directing probably 7 different shows?
Exactly. I've really, really, really they had another director in before me, Amy Smith. She's a Wolverhampton girl as well. You probably interviewed her quite a bit. And yeah, it was her that was doing it, and I sort of went in as a second to her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope she wants me to do a bit more. Amy, if you're watching, please, I'm ready. I'll be free mid-November. So.
Okay, so yeah, see what you can do, get booked in for some Christmas cruising.
Yes, absolutely.
But it is a big industry, and it's one where I think people forget the importance of entertainment, because you have a theatre on these ships, which is worthy of the size of at least the arena, if not the Grand.
Yeah.
And you've actually got a great opportunity to see a load of shows at the same time as enjoying different ports as you go through.
Yeah, and you know what? The standards are just getting better all the time. I don't know if you remember, well, I'm sure you do, I remember when doing a cruise ship it was a bit frowned on maybe, and it was always brilliant. But what is expected is really, they want to have a Broadway show, or and it has to be to that level. So I was really impressed with the talent of the singers on board and the band. When do you get a 12-piece band and you can hear it? I mean, you're going to hear one in Nativity, sure, but I'm talking like full time every night. That is rare these days. And when you hear that moment, isn't it, when the band pick up some brilliant musicians, and I was brought on as well to help them with their standalone shows, because of course they all need a show that's their own. And a couple of the singers, they already have that, but some of the new ones coming up, they might not have that. So I really love doing that sort of stuff, helping them build a new show for themselves. That's definitely something that has been really fun to do.
And does this mean your freelance diary is waiting to fill up for 2025, or have you already got stuff in there?
Do you know what? There is some stuff, but we have to keep a bit silent about a few things. But I mean, we've spoken a little bit before, haven't we, about this sort of passion project that I've got on at the moment. So you've got all the stuff that comes in and out that pays the bills. But I was working with a Wolverhampton life coach for about a year and a half, Devya Athwell Resourcing, and she reminded me that you always need to have a passion project. And I have been building. I'm really excited to share. It's not ready yet, but I'm excited to share even a small part of a play that I've been writing, which is really it's for mental health reasons, in particular suicide prevention, and I've got like a really cool way of how we're going to do it, and broach the subject with it being a comfortable thing for people.
It's something you need to talk about, and it's not necessarily the suicide prevention bit you're talking about the journey which could cause someone to feel that they need to take their own life, and it's therefore you're approaching it and talking about the problems to take a step back from where the final destination could be.
Yeah, totally. Do you know, if I look at I'm a happy guy, and there have been periods where I wasn't the happiest of guys, and if I look at my life when I was little in Wolverhampton, growing up and joining all the Amdram companies, Punch Theatre, Vernon Man, Cancer, I was literally living my best life. I didn't need to be guided where I wanted to be, and I think you could spend a lot of your adult life, especially your early adult life, undoing all of that good work, really, and doing what you think you should do or what is socially acceptable. And this play really is about embracing who you truly are and what your natural go-tos are. I mean, all within reason, right? But if I was a painter and drew what my life I wanted it to look like and then what it was, it really didn't match. And I'm so happy to be home right now. I've moved back from London after 17 years London. And the amazing thing about the lockdown, one of the great things was it opened up this idea you can be remote. So I'm in London every week at some point, but I don't have to live there. So many people have moved out. The only reason you need to be in there is if you're in a West End show for a year, right? In our world, anyway. And so it's really nice. I'm home and I get to see my dad and my family, and I get to do all this great stuff. And one thing I wanted to say is that if you listen to that thought in your head, I really had thought for many years if I was to come back, it would be feeling like stepping back. And by embracing that, it's definitely been one of the biggest step forwards I've done in a really long time. And to be doing amateur theatre again, wow, and just doing it for the fun of it. And it all happened by accident. I've been somebody that has gone into Bilston, who I was never a member of, but I have like friends from the old days.
There's so many different people between so many groups. Everybody moves around, and you follow the show sometimes, don't you?
Exactly. And they'd asked me the year that they did Chitty, great production.
That was amazing. That was phenomenal.
And I went in. I just read in with a friend of mine, Tashika Ko. Tashika,
I know Tashika.
And we were there doing that, and it was the first time I sort of got the bug a bit, and I was like, do I want to do it? And I said to my mum at the time, my mum passed away, as you know, but before she passed, I said, you know what, I'm thinking I might want to do this Chitty. I don't know, I've just got, and she went, not this year. Don't do it. Now, it's funny because she said that she'd send me butterflies, and a year on, I was then, helping them at the auditions for Bilston for this show, and she'd passed by this point, and I went in to help, and it was just, I had an old friend from Punch say, have you thought about maybe being in this? I think you'd be a really great, Mr. Popular. I said, oh, don't be daft. Anyway, do you want to have a little go for it? I thought, oh, go on, I might have a little go. And I said, just have a look at the script, and I went into this room, butterflies everywhere, and I opened up the thing, and the opening line is, I got my lunchbox in my hand, butterflies in my tummy, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at this. I did the audition, and it was like I was back in the room.
You just felt at home.
Yeah, and I have to say, Bilston have been it's the warmest of welcomes. Reminds me of my days with South Staffs and Muscombe in particular, you know. Real great memories. And it's like, I'm back where I want to be, really.
Well, you're going to be making yourself at home at the Grand Theatre from the 13th through to the 17th of November. Right. Grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets. It's all Bilston Operatic doing their thing down there. You can call the box office on 01902 429212. Matt, where are you on the socials?
I Make It Matt Elson. I know it sounds cringe, but the company is called Make It Matter, so it makes sense. Make It Matt Elson. Do follow me. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Matt Elson on LinkedIn. So do follow me on the socials. That'd be wonderful. Instagram's my thing, really. I'm not a TikTok boy.
No, but you have a great time. Enjoy your time on the socials. Enjoy your time on stage. Break a leg and have a great one. And maybe back on the cruise next year.
Well, yes, see you there. Well, you have to get you on next year.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Thank you.
On the 26th of October, Mystical Productions events are bringing a bit of spooky to the Kingswood Trust. To tell us more, I have Dan with me. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good stuff. Now, explain what's going on here, because you do like a bit of horror, don't you?
We have teamed up with the Kingswood Trust this year to bring them a Halloween Scarefest as a fundraiser for them. It's an outward bound centre for children. They do lots of forest schools, and it's a residential for times as well. So we're bringing... They have their event on the Friday, and we're bringing an event on the Saturday, which is a bit of a spook fest.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a maze.
There is.
There's food. There's going to be a bit of music around and about. Lots more to see as well.
Yeah, so we've got various stalls and crafts and games. A food court providing things like wood-fired pizzas, Indian food, Jamaican food, sweet carts, face painting. We've got games for the children, so like fancy dress. Musical statues, mummy, dress the best mummy. It's going to be a very family full day. And then obviously we have also got the maze. So between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock is the children's Halloween trick-or-treat walk. So it's £3 for child, and they will walk through the maze as the adults will do later on, but they will receive treats. They'll answer a question, whether that be a riddle, they do a jigsaw or a maths puzzle. Get it right, they get their treat, they move on. And then from 6 o'clock in the evening is when things get really dark, and we twist it for the adults. So that will be a twist on a scare. So it won't be for the faint-hearted, and it will be very spooky. We've got some brilliant characters all throughout. Some of it is based on fact, some of it isn't, but the story writer has actually taken facts from the area going back 600-700 years.
Okay, so this is going to be really spooky. It's going to be based in history, but it's going to be quite frightening as well. I mean, we're down here at the minute in what is it? You're going to be a witch's hut.
A witch's hut.
But it actually does feel like it's a witch's hut. I take it they don't normally use it as a witch's hut,
no,
do they?
They don't. But the witch that we have is actually based on a factual person from the 1400s that we managed to find. And a lot of the characters we have the actual main story is based on a private who was very well to do in the area, and we've taken his story when he went to the Battle of the Somme, didn't come home, body never found, and we've taken that and we've twisted it and elaborated it, and we've taken factual history, and we've made it into a Halloween twist.
Okay, so we got the opportunity to meet the caretaker. Now, the caretaker is going to be guiding people through the start of the maze for the adults.
So the caretaker will be there to tell the backstory and inform the audience of what's gone on.
Got to invite him in then.
Go on, so we get the caretaker in.
What's his name?
This is Andy, caretaker.
Okay, Andy the caretaker. Let's go and stand here, sir.
Thank you.
So what time period are you from?
I'm from the modern period. I'm a local caretaker here and amateur historian.
Okay, so when you're introducing people to this intriguing site, where do you start, and how does the magic happen?
Well, I start off round up there by the start of the woods, just by the old wood house. And what I do is I'm going to give people information about the whole tour, about a little bit about the history, possibly introduce some of the ghosts they might appear on the way round.
Okay. I see there's somebody else lurking over there.
We've managed to get Elizabeth Mary Fairfield, who is a factual person from the 1400s. She was born with scoliosis, and back then it wasn't known what the condition was, and of course she was then accused of being a witch. So if I bring Mary in, she can give you some more of the backstory.
Mary, do come and join us.
There's too many people here for me.
I am already petrified. Just come and stand here, just for a moment, if you'd be so kind. So tell us a bit about your time living in the woods.
I live out here on my own. I don't want anybody near me. Just bring the children.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Okay, can we come out of character now before I get absolutely petrified? Because Andy the caretaker is still called Andy in real life.
I am, yes.
Which is slightly confusing. You have a real life persona as well as nowhere near as nasty.
I do. I'm Susie. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun thing to do, I think.
It all looks amazing, and the detail is what counts, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's all about convincing people that this could be a real thing, and convincing people that it's, especially with a story that actually was real. Mm-hmm. It's
well, we're only on early evening and it's already quite dark out here around about, and and chilly. Yeah, so it is really going to feel like the part. Now we've got someone else we need to bring in over here, don't we?
So if I bring in Stephanie, who deals with all the stalls, she can give a bit more information about who we've got, what we've got, and I'll come out to the shop to see you've got a bit more space.
Okay, he goes over there. Stephanie comes in. Yeah, because it's going to be a fun one with the stalls. That's part of it. Yeah. And the woodland itself isn't as accessible because it is a proper woodland maze.
It is.
That means, though, that those who don't feel able to make that walk round have still got plenty to do.
They've got plenty to do. I mean, the maze we will try and clear as best we can, but it's not really going to be accessible for like wheelchairs and people with sticks unless they've got somebody to help them. So we've got out there, we've got people doing jewellery, we've got milkshakes, we've got people doing activities for the children, and there's a lot of different stalls. If anybody else wants to come, please get in touch. We're on Facebook, we're not looking for vendors anymore. We've got enough food vendors. So it's been quite hard going, but one thing I will say is we do need actors to just come and give us a few 20-minute slots where they're like singing for us or playing an instrument. That would be great.
So a bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
Maybe in period.
Yeah.
Definitely spooky if they can do it.
Definitely.
As much makeup as you like.
The more spookier, the better.
Okay, that sounds. I'll let you go back to your seat over there.
Thank you.
And we'll bring young Daniel back in. So if people do want to get in touch, how do they do it?
You can get in touch with us on our Facebook at Mystical Productions Events. Same for Instagram. They're the two that most people will get back to. Or you can email us on mysticalproductions@outlook.com. If you're wanting tickets, it's www.jumblebee.co.uk/Halloween Scarefest 24.
Okay, that's quite a nice, short, snappy title. You'd best off going to the Facebook page and clicking on it.
Absolutely, yes. It is all in the link. It's all on there. So if you want to get onto Facebook at Mystical Productions Events, all of the events on there with all the information.
And should we get these two back into
character? Yeah, let's get these two back in character.
So, obviously, you may encounter Andy the caretaker, this rather scary witch just to my left if when you're on the run. What happens? How do you control such interesting malevolence?
Well, the most interesting thing to do is actually avoid around this area here. This is where, especially sort of talking midnight later on, that's when she roams this area the most.
And you're looking out for what at that time of night? Collecting bits for potions? Are you actually doing some interesting witchcraft?
I've got all my potion things over here. I go out into the woods and I find things to add to my little potions, and you'll see a few spells.
Can you perform a spell now? Would that be safe for us to do?
As the spell begins to work, I call him in to complete my work.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 799 next week. I hope to see you then. Ta for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.